Good morning, everyone. How embarrassing. So, Brian from Fort Collins had actually asked me for like the past 2 weeks if I was ready, and I was with my attitude, yeah, I'm ready, but holy crap, I'm so nervous. But before I begin, I just want to take the time to acknowledge everyone at IBMC for putting this ceremony together for all of us, as well as everyone here at the Budweiser Events Center for allowing us to use their facility and hold our event here. I know from experience how much hard work goes into tearing down and setting up for new events each night. So to the operations crew, the event planners, everyone behind the scenes, there's just so many of you, but we thank you for making this happen. So today, we celebrate a milestone. We celebrate our push through late nights, early mornings, sick days, tough days, days our cars broke down, our days we had to stay home due to our kids being sick. Days we pushed through to get to this day, the day we wear our caps and gowns and walk this very stage while our family, friends, peers, and instructors cheer us on. This day is a celebration of our dedication we put into our studies to receive our certificates and diplomas saying we did it. But today, I want to celebrate those who have helped me and supported me while I dedicated myself to my education. We all had some type of a support, whether it been from family, friends, counselors, or anyone within the IBMC staff. Whomever it was that we asked to help us when we needed it, we thank you. Without any of you, we may not have been here sitting today before you. November 25th, 1990, at 12:01, I, Chantel Morin, was born and considered failure to thrive due to a heart murmur followed by a dairy allergy. I left the hospital at about 8 pounds, and at a week old, I was admitted to the hospital weighing in at 4 pounds. For 6 months, I stayed at Northern Colorado Medical Center, where I was then transferred to the Children's Hospital in Denver for an additional 4 months. At about 10 months old, I was considered disabled, but I was finally able to go home. I was 9 years old when I beat the label disabled. But not too long after that, my sisters and I were brought into the foster care system. For 9 years, I fought many battles a child should not have been in. My first 2 homes, I cried in every day and night, hoping I can go back home to my family. I was scared, and I didn't understand why I had to be taken away. I lived in hell. I didn't understand why these strangers hurt me the way they did. I asked God, why me? My 3rd foster home, I felt free. I was no longer scared. I felt love. I felt comfortable. This was my home. I no longer have to fight. I can live a life I was supposed to live all along. I learned so much being in this home, and I loved it so much that I asked my foster parents to adopt me. Though it did not go through on my end, I am thankful I was blessed to have a second family that I still have today. Growing up in the foster system, I heard comments from people around me. You brought the foster kids? They're just gonna fail like their parents did. Be careful of them, they have issues. They won't make it in life. And my all-time favorite, we just do it for the money. One teacher I had said I would never graduate high school, and I'd be another statistic. A foster kid who gets pregnant, drops out of school, gets my kids taken away. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm a child, and I did not decide to be here. It was the most hurtful thing I went through as a kid, being treated like I was nothing, only because I was in the system. May 2009, I graduated from Greeley West High School. The only thing I remember thinking as I walked across that stage was, no, I'm not another statistic. I did it. And that walk across the stage was for every child in the foster system that has been hurt and judged just because we were taken away. May 2011, I gave birth to my oldest son, Jordan. I was happy, but I was scared because I had a miscarriage not too long before. I've taken care of kids, but never had my own. I made a promise to him that I was going to start a career and give him everything I didn't have growing up. So I enrolled in a therapeutic massage program here at IBMC. I was excited to be back in school. I loved my classes, my instructors, and the bonds I made with my classmates. One teacher I was excited to see and learn from was Terry Trujillo. There was something about Terry that sparked my interest that much more in the human body. Before Terry, while I was in foster care, I was a bit of a rebel. I was grounded a lot. But my way out, the majority of the time, was massaging my foster parents. My dad liked his feet rubbed, and my mom, well, she loved her back and her arms massaged. Near the end of my schooling, I quit as I became a single mother. Times were rough, and with rough times came bad choices, partying, drinking, and getting into trouble. I found myself hanging out with the wrong crowd and fell into a deep depression. May of 2014, just days before my son's 3rd birthday, I woke up on the floor with an empty bottle of vodka, pills scattered near it, and a belt around my neck. I was so deep into depression that I was willing to end it all that night. Unfortunately, a couple years later, I tried to take my life 2 more times. Thankfully, God let me see another day. Fast forward to 2017, I was living in a women's shelter, 7 months pregnant, and with my 6-year-old son. Just before I got pregnant with my 2nd son, I had another miscarriage before. I suffered my whole pregnancy from anxiety and depression due to the relationship I was in, plus the fear of losing my baby. Having a high-risk pregnancy came with so many health concerns. One being my high blood pressure, then being diagnosed with preeclampsia. September 2017, I gave birth to my youngest son, Roman. For 3 days, I was not able to see him due to him being in the NICU and myself being bedridden and on IV fluids because of a couple small seizures I had after giving birth. A week later, my son was put on oxygen, and I was finally able to take him home. No longer living in a shelter, but now couch surfing, I needed to make a change for my kids. For 2 years, I busted my butt doing hard labor jobs to provide for my kids. I bought me a car, and I got me and my kids our own little home. Things were finally great for us. December 2019, God blessed me with a bigger family. I fell in love with my husband, Joseph, and I became a bonus mom to 3 boys who I fell in love with, Joseph, Josiah, and Jonah. For years, I have put my kids before myself and always catered to my family, but I wanted to finish school. I made a call in 2021 to enroll back into school so I could finish the massage program I started years ago. It was such a blessing having the support of my husband and his willingness to be the breadwinner while I finished school. Through the time I have been here finishing my program, I've had a ton of support. I thank my husband for helping me get back into school and being the best partner I could ever ask for. My parents for helping me with my kids, whether it was babysitting or picking them up from school. My friends and my family for being my homework buddies when I needed to practice. And all my instructors, Deborah Anderson, Hope Pisa, Jack Olson, Jen Trimble, Diana McCarty, Virginia from the massage program, and Brian Johnson, who helped me get back on track and motivated me to keep going. I thank God for giving me the strength to be a better woman, wife, and mother, as well as answering all my prayers. You see, I have fought all my life. When I was backed up into a corner, I never backed down, and I fought my way through. I fell down many times, and when I was kicked over and over, I got up, I stood tall, no matter how much pain I felt. Today, I tell my story not for sympathy, but to motivate others who have fought similar battles that I have. I didn't want to be that person who uses their past as an excuse to not succeed to better things. I'm not letting my past define me in a negative way, but it sure has shaped me into the strong woman I am today. I wasn't just a foster kid. I was not another statistic. I am Chantel Morin. I'm 31 years old. I'm a mother of 5 handsome boys. I suffer from anxiety and depression. I'm a suicide survivor. I grew up in foster care, but I made it. I made it to this day to walk this stage with all of you and celebrate this fight we have been victorious in. I'm a graduate, class of 2022. Thank you.